Hi,
Hey,
Nerd Talk.
I'm Derek,
I'm Justin.
and this is Nerd Talk.
This is Nerd Talk. So, again, it's been kind of a slow couple of weeks. As
Yeah,
far
it
as
has.
news. There's only been a couple of big things.
But it's the fall.
Not really.
Is that
it's
an
just
excuse?
No. I don't know. There's just not as much going on for some reason.
Yeah, I guess there's not. I
But-
mean, there's always new stuff coming up, but it's just little tidbits.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, hey, Bane.
So we can, Derek,
Yes.
what Marvel character do you think could defeat Superman in a fight? I know what you're gonna say.
I'm not going to say Spider-Man.
You're not. My mind is blown.
Just to throw you off.
Okay.
Wolverine.
Wolverine, but his blades wouldn't be able to penetrate Superman.
But Superman wouldn't be able to
Oh, he would keep
hurt
healing.
Wolverine. He would keep healing.
Man, that's smart.
So Wolverine would find a way.
That's true.
And how do you know his blades wouldn't cut anything? It's adamantine. Adamantium. It can cut anything.
Yeah, but it's Superman. He's the Man of Steel.
Yeah, but adamantium's stronger than steel. Superman's not the man of adamantium.
Okay, Wolverine is. You're right. Fine, that'd be a good one. That's a good idea. I think.
Even Magneto. He's the man of steel.
I don't think he's literally Man of Steel though. I think it's more like.
You don't know that.
You're right. I don't.
Magneto could just.
I mean, people always say Hulk would have a chance because if Hulk would eventually get angry and just beat the shit out of him, but
Yeah.
Thor maybe, possibly, he'd have a shot. He'd
definitely have a shot.
But
Jean Grey.
yeah.
Just to keep saying X-Men.
Well, yeah, she could get into his mind, I guess. You're right. So
Superman's not trained in locking his mind down.
yeah, you're right.
Spider-Man.
Really though, anybody with kryptonite,
Spider-Man would create
kryptonite
some
webs.
suit and some special webbing. I mean, he's done it for other villains.
That's true.
He's made asbestos webs so he could fight the Human Torch.
Yeah, but really, with kryptonite, fucking Jubilee could defeat Superman probably.
No, probably not.
You don't think so?
She'd fuck it up.
Probably. She'd probably fucking. Rogue actually would be.
If she could touch him,
If she snuck up on him,
she could just zap Superman's powers.
Yeah.
And that would be scary.
That would be scary.
There's quite a few, I'd say.
You're right. That was a good way to start the episode.
I was going to think of one more. I was going to say Iron Man. He'd make a Superman Buster outfit.
You're right. So, you know what? Fuck Superman.
But what if Superman got, the Venom symbiote on him?
Oh, fuck. That'd be so crazy. I'm going to write this and we're going to... Superman symbiote.
That's a conversation for another Nerd Talk.
That's a conversation for...
What heroes would be cool if the symbiote's on them?
Jesus.
Jesus of symbiote?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. We're saving that conversation.
All right.
So
that transitions into... I mentioned Iron Man.
you did mention Iron Man. So I think the last episode we mentioned Robert Downey Jr. saying that there'd be no Iron Man 4. Well, now he's a liar.
Oh, he said that he would only do it if Mel Gibson directed.
Which is super random.
Yeah, it's very random.
Although I guess he's always been a supporter of Mel Gibson, saying he deserves another chance in Hollywood and stuff. But
Has he?
hmm
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe he just picked a random director like Robert Downey Jr.'s out there I would do it if, and he has a hat full of directors.
just pulls one out.
If the Wachowskis directed it.
It could be crazy too, but no, I think even it was the interviewer might have even been like, well, what about Mel Gibson or something? And he was like, oh yeah, totally, that movie would be crazy, which is true. That movie would be insane, but
I can't believe he didn't say if Jon Favreau did it again or
yeah,
something like that.
if Mel Gibson's a random choice, I'd watch it.
Oh,
of course I would.
I would watch it. I would watch it no matter who directed it. Pretty much, it's Iron Man 4.
But Mel Gibson would be an interesting choice. Who do you guys think should direct Iron Man 4?
Robert Downey Jr. himself.
That'd be an awesome directorial debut.
Thank you, audience.
Unless he's directed something before. I don't know.
I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of it.
Yeah. So, I honestly think that he's just kind of bullshitting a lot because I think one week he's going to say one thing and another week he's going to say another.
And I don't think Mel Gibson would do it.
I don't think Mel Gibson would do it either.
Mel Gibson might do it. Marvel probably wouldn't let Mel Gibson do it.
Yeah, and his returns into the movies have been failures the past couple years.
That was his last one, Beaver?
No, his last one was Expendables 3, but...
He directed Expendables 3?
No, he was an actor in it. But I mean, just his name in general being and stuff.
Yeah.
And that movie bombed, and he was in Machete Kills, and that bombed, and, But it'd be a cool way for him to come back.
It would. Everyone deserves a comeback.
Of course. Robert Downey Jr. is a good example of that.
He is a great example.
We might get some Avengers 2 footage. Might have a trailer before Interstellar.
Yeah, and they're saying we'll get a good glimpse at Ultron on the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray.
Yeah, which that's in December, but I feel like, well, I mean, unless in the trailer...
There's not a good Ultron stuff.
Yeah, they could be very
It could just be a teaser at the time.
You're right. It may not have. Because I was going to say, like, they always... I'm actually surprised we haven't seen anything for it yet, because a lot of times for big movies like that, even a year before, we see something.
Yeah, we've seen just simple things like...
Photos
like
and...
set photos of them and like...
Yeah.
Of like Spader in the Ultron costume and stuff like that.
Right.
But we haven't seen the complete CGI, like after all the effects have been done, Ultron yet.
That's true.
Just concept art and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just excited. I honestly thought we would see something before Guardians of the Galaxy, because it's less than a year away from when that was released, but we didn't.
And if you guys don't remember what Ultron looks like from other times we've used him, here it is.
Yeah.
So what else has happened?
Well, they're going to release a Rogue cut of X-Men next year.
And what would that be like?
Well, they talked about how they had Rogue in the movie and then cut her out.
Yeah.
She was in the advertisement.
Because they replaced her a lot with Kitty. Like,
something
pretty
like
much
that.
for everything.
Yeah. I guess there's going to be like an extra scene with Rogue or something with Rogue, and it's just going to be like a longer cut, which is probably just a way to make money, but also because I would love to see what they were going to do with Rogue. And
yeah.
it makes sense, because she had like a really tiny part in the finished movie,
and she would have made sense to be in there, at least.
Yeah.
For like more than she was.
Exactly. She was a big part of the original cast, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Bigger than Kitty.
Yeah, exactly.
But Shadowcat was a main part in the actual Days of Future Past.
Exactly. So that
which makes sense why they used her.
Yeah. They've also been talking about, you know, the movie, and they're going to have a lot of fun with the 80s setting, which, why wouldn't you, you know?
They're also saying that the Deadpool movie is going to take place in the X-Men universe.
Oh, have they said that? That's awesome. That's good news. I'm glad for that.
So that'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, I really don't think that he would... I don't expect him to be addressed or anything in the movie, but...
and I don't expect like X-Men cameos or anything like that in the Deadpool movie.
No.
But it's neat that they take place in the same universe, so maybe eventually there could be some sort of crossover.
Yeah, because
something like that.
Well, yeah, because they said that X-Men Apocalypse is going to close the X-Men First Class trilogy.
Yeah.
Which means the obvious next step. They've talked about doing an X-Force movie.
That's what I was getting ready to say. And Deadpool was in one of the recent incarnations of the X-Force.
So that'd be an interesting way to tie it together and bring him in.
Yeah, and that'd be cool to see some of the heroes that they haven't used quite a bit.
Like Bishop.
Exactly. He was they were a huge part of like X-Force in the past. Deadpool's incarnation had Psylocke in there. Mm-hmm. And Angel's always been important.
Mm-hmm. And Cable was in there at some point, wasn't he? Was he an X-Force character?
Yeah, Cable was an X-Force character.
Okay. Yeah, so X-Men's one of those properties that can just go on and on without too many major recastings. I mean, they did say that if they wanted to bring back original cast, they'd have to recast them just because of them getting older, and it makes sense with the new timeline that they're doing, that they can use those characters with different storylines. But there's such an abundance of X-Men characters. There's so many places to go.
And one thing I always thought it'd be cool for them to mess with in the X-Men universe would be X-Factor investigations. Have like a whole detective noir thing going on.
That'd almost be a good TV show.
It would.
That's true.
And Multiple Man's a lot cooler than people give him credit for.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He was used very poorly in X3. Speaking of Deadpool, there's been, we talked about our breaking news last week that they set a release date. There's still been no like official confirmation on director or Ryan Reynolds or anything, which surely at least Ryan Reynolds would be in it.
And the PG-13 rumors are still going on.
Now the PG-13 rumors are pretty prevalent. They're saying that was why it got pushed, was because they finally found a way to make PG-13 work, which is disappointing unless they film it in a way where they could have like an unrated DVD version.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like with the fourth Die Hard.
Exactly.
The unrated version was obviously better because it felt like John McClane and.
You got some fucks in there.
Yeah. There's things that they can. People can really push the PG-13 a lot nowadays, and I'm sure that would still be a really cool movie, but it's still disappointing.
I mean, I would love to see an R-rated Wolverine movie.
No kidding, yeah.
But like actually get to see the brutal slashings, and Wolverine would swear.
Yeah,
but we still get by like the Wolverine was still a good movie without all of that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it could work with Deadpool.
It could.
But
Doctor Strange. Crazy shit, man. Every week there's something new, it seems like.
Yeah. Like Joaquin Phoenix is out.
Yeah, he's officially just out of it.
They had some rumors of Ethan Hawke.
Which would be pretty cool.
I could definitely see him as Doctor Strange, but then they debunked those rumors.
Yeah, now people are saying that those were false.
But out of the ones that they have the names out there of, there's Jared Leto, Benedict Cumberbatch,
And Tom Hardy.
And out of those, I think I would rather see Jared Leto do it.
Yeah.
He has more of a Doctor Strange look to him than
he does,
others.
and I would rather see Tom Hardy and Benedict Cumberbatch do something else.
Yeah.
If they're going to be a superhero or
like
something.
I was telling you, I'd like to see Cumberbatch in the Inhumans movie because I think he'd be a good look for Maximus.
I agree. And Tom Hardy, I mean, I know he's been banged, but I mean, it wouldn't hurt him to be a superhero of some kind somewhere, but...
No, Tom Hardy deserves to be a superhero.
He's a great actor, and he's, I know he's going to be Mad Max, but I just, not Doctor Strange.
No.
And I still vote for Justin Theroux. I want Justin Theroux in there.
I do too. I really want Justin Theroux as Doctor Strange or Al Pacino.
Marvel.
So speaking of rumors, there was a new Star Wars rumor that arose. I don't know if you heard about it.
Possibly. I probably did.
It was about the possibility of who the villain is going to be.
I did hear this.
Luke Skywalker.
As a cyborg, was that what they said?
Yeah, in a roundabout way. Yeah, kind of like following the footsteps of his father.
Okay. That's kind of neat.
I think would be alright.
Well,
I mean,
it would and wouldn't be.
Because they officially announced that all of the comic books and any kind of media that takes place after George Lucas's trilogy
was not...
It's void, it's not canon at all.
Right.
Like these movies...
Which is disappointing, but...
It is. So these movies will make the new canon.
Mm-hmm. Well, my only problem with Luke Skywalker being the bad guy is that the whole trilogy was about the good versus evil and him not going to the dark side, him going on the becoming a Jedi and all that stuff. So making him the bad guy just feels weird. It feels wrong.
It does,
in my opinion.
I always pictured Luke becoming the new Yoda figure.
Yeah, if he had I think it'd be a lot more interesting if Han Solo and Leia had a kid who was evil or something. If they were.
I think that's what happened in the books, actually.
Really? See, that makes sense to me.
Something like that, or no, one of Luke's kids became evil.
Okay.
He had two.
Well, yeah,
one was good, one was evil.
Even that, I would much prefer that because that'd be interesting, especially if it was Luke being a good guy, knowing his son or daughter was evil.
Yeah.
Or Han or Leia knowing their kid was evil. That'd be interesting.
But I have my trust in J.J. Abrams.
I do too.
If he decides to make Luke Skywalker evil, I think he's doing it for a reason, and it'll be amazing.
I'm sure you're right.
But as much as I feel like it would also hurt people's feelings.
Yeah.
I don't think it would upset them when they wouldn't see it. It would just be hurt feelings.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know what I want to talk about now?
Pocahontas.
No, Gotham.
Okay.
Close. We've had 2
I want
episodes.
to talk about Gotham as well.
Okay, we've had 2 episodes now. 3rd episode is going to be on Monday.
Do you know what the 3rd episode is going to be about?
I don't remember. I did see, but
I didn't see, so I was just curious.
Since I'm not watching them live, I don't see the next time on Gotham. I just see the episode and But I'm sure more Penguin.
Of course, Penguin's my favorite character in the show so far.
I think he's mine too. I'm intrigued.
He's very sadistic.
Yeah, they make him pretty brutal.
Yeah.
With the kidnapped kid in the second episode.
So he was awesome in the 2nd episode.
Yeah.
He definitely stole the whole episode.
Yeah, I agree.
Every time they'd flash to something else about, come on, give me more Penguin.
Yeah.
Which is really weird to say.
It is very weird to say.
He was never one of my favorite Batman villains.
No, I mean, as much as I love Batman Returns, and Danny DeVito as Penguin and stuff, I completely agree.
Yeah.
He's just he's kind of the perfect one to be a villain in this time.
He is.
So I'm glad that they're using him as they are.
Out of the acting in the show, him and, I can't think of the guy's name who was playing Gordon.
Is it Ben McKenzie or Benjamin McKenzie?
Yeah. He's a really good Gordon.
Yeah.
Just wish he had a mustache.
Or glasses at least.
Yeah, or glasses at least.
Something
But the female cast is not strong at all.
No, I'm disappointed. I don't like Barbara very much. I mean, she's hot. But they kind of sexualized her in a weird way.
And Jada Pinkett Smith is just horrible.
And they also have they're hinting at Barbara Gordon having a possible lesbian relationship. That's the feeling
That's the feeling I got as well.
It may not even be that way. It could just be some sort of past she has with that detective. But
the dialogue's not that great.
The dialogue's not great. But I kind of the only reason I can accept the dialogue is because the whole thing feels like this throwback, detective, old school cop thing, and the dialogue was always cheesy. But
the story keeps you interested enough that you still kind of ignore it.
No, I still very much enjoy the show. I think I think people are comparing it to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a way, but I
think it's a lot better than
I think it's a lot, especially at the start of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I really think this is a lot better. And I do think the pilot episode especially just was trying way too hard to put Batman characters in there.
Yeah, the pilot was very weak. I gave it maybe a 5 out of 10.
See, I go 6.5.
But episode 2 I gave 7 out of 10.
Yeah, which is not bad. I think I know why they're putting in Batman characters because it takes place in the Batman universe. I mean,
Of course,
it's about Gotham. You don't want a Batman show without Bruce Wayne or without certain people.
Which is something I felt Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. didn't do correctly.
Yeah, because you can't get big characters on there really because.
Yeah.
I mean, you could. I feel like there's got to be ways they can. I mean, I know they had Nick Fury and Maria Hill.
Yeah, and they tried that Deathlock thing.
Yeah, but
so Batman's doing a lot better there.
Yeah. So the second episode of Gotham, they had it wasn't quite as bad. I mean, there was more of Catwoman in there. They had an appearance from Edward Nygma.
Yeah, he came in for that one scene.
Yeah. I also like Harvey Bullock in this. I like Donald Logue a lot.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. I mean, I think he almost has more of the cheesier dialogue, but
He does.
But I still enjoy him and the character a lot.
Yeah, he's such an ass.
He's such an ass, but.
But speaking of asses in the show, Alfred.
I don't like Alfred.
He's a dick.
I think maybe they're doing it in the sense that now he's responsible for this young kid. And that's kind of a big thing.
And he's trying to be a father figure.
And maybe he's overwhelmed by it, which makes sense. And I know he's younger than we've seen him in past versions, but he slaps Bruce because he burned his hand. I'm just he just burned his hand. You slap him? He's hurting himself and you're going to slap him?
You're going to hurt him more?
But I don't know. He just seems like an ass. And
he's not Michael Caine.
He's no Michael Caine. And even the guy from the 90s ones, I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
More gentle and stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because he's younger and it's an early Alfred. And, I talked to this guy... We had this conversation about it, and what we think would have been a much better idea for the first season to have Thomas and Martha Wayne as main characters, because none of the other movies or nothing we've had them. It's always started with they're dead, and and I get that, but it would have been really interesting if they were main characters for the first season, and then maybe the season ended with their death, and then it's who did it, and that's a good series.
So we get attached to Bruce's parents and everything.
Yeah, and it's a good season finale because you don't know who did it, and.
We know that, I mean, it's obvious that they're going to die.
Yeah, we know that, but it'd be cool to see them as characters, because we've never really seen that before.
Yeah.
But I think so far it's off to a good start, and since they're hearing complaints about the dialogue, maybe they'll be able to fix it up in future episodes, because we know they've casted Nicholas D'Agosta as Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
So he's going to be in his 20s with Harvey Dent, which... might be a little too old.
Yeah, because I always felt like Harvey Dent was around Bruce's age.
Yeah, maybe a little older, but yeah.
So instead they're making him around Gordon's age, a little younger.
Which they've said they were going to make certain changes and for the story purposes, and Harvey Dent makes sense to kind of be around because he was a good guy and then became bad. And
yeah, it'd be cool to see him during his good guy phase.
Yeah, and it's
as a main character in the show.
Same with I'd love to see Mr. Freeze pop up because he's another one that makes a lot of sense. To be around.
Yeah. I feel like they're going to, I feel like at least at the end of this season, Jada Pinkett Smith's character is going to be gone.
Yeah, and have Penguin kind of start taking over as the big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can definitely see, Penguin killing her at some point.
Yeah. And when they first showed her character, Fish Mooney, I thought she was way over the top, and I kind of warmed up to her in the episode, but then again in the second episode, I was just I don't know, I feel like they're a little over the top with her.
I agree.
I've kind of enjoyed Catwoman, a little bit, the character.
Yeah, she's not bad.
Yeah, she's kind of fun.
It's cool to see her in her coming-of-age thing, but I don't like how she's going by Cat instead of Selena.
Yeah, well, it's same with the Ivy. They called her Ivy, and that's not her name. Her name is Pamela Isley.
Yeah.
So there's, obviously, we've said, there's things we're not pleased
And I didn't
with,
expect her to be coming from, such a raggedy family when she was a scientist.
Yeah.
Or a botanist.
But. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't know. It's still off to a pretty strong start, and I'm still curious to see where it goes.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think? Maybe you have different opinions, and you can comment.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us what you think. But I think that's going to do it.
Yeah, it's really about all we have for you.
It is. Good episode.
So thanks for nerd talking.
Thanks for listening and watching, and
yeah.
Bye.